Welcome back, everybody, to episode 12 of The Road to 10% Body Fat. You might remember me from such episodes as episode 1 of The Road to 10% Body Fat, the Strength Institute podcast, and The Big Flex. And why am I giving you this introduction? Because it's been quite some time since my last episode, and I just need to get you all reacquainted with what we're doing here. But if you are new to this video series, it is all about my journey from super chunky 30% body fat, more or less, 118 kilos, trying to get all the way down to 10% body fat. And a whole bunch of stuff has happened since my last episode, and I'm going to fill you in on that right now. But before I do, if you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to the video and to the channel. Help this video series grow. It would be much appreciated. Leave a comment as well. All right, so what has been going on? Quite a bit. The last video you got from me, I had just broken the 100 kilo mark. I was 99.95. I just dipped out of the triple digit club for the first time in quite some time. And then a whole bunch of stuff happened. So let me dive right into it. And this is not an excuse video because there's still been progress and I've still been working on things. I just haven't filmed a video. So this is not an excuse video as to why things have slowed down at all. But basically, I hurt my neck. It's a flare-up of an old injury, an old rugby injury, a disc issue, and a nerve issue that happened back in 2016. And then it flared up again last year in August. And then I was feeling good, and then it flared up again a few months ago, pretty much the week after my last video. And I couldn't do anything. Completely incapacitated. I was in bed, lying on the couch, propped up, sleeping on the couch, vertical for a few days, and then no work for the week. It was a real issue. So that has taken quite a time to settle down. I did 0 weights for 6 weeks. 0 weight, 0 exercise for 6 weeks. And so, as you can imagine, that's going to have some effect on my lean mass. But it's good because I still dropped below 95 kilos during that period, and I got a Dexa scan. So today we're going to go over that Dexa scan as well. But here are some concerns that I had going into that scan. Was one, I was hurt, so I wasn't doing anything physical at all for 6 weeks. I continued to eat at a deficit, calorie-wise, so I was still losing weight. I also stopped taking creatine because I wasn't working out at all, and I didn't see any point in taking creatine every day just for the sake of it. So no creatine, no working out for 6 weeks, eating at a calorie deficit. I was worried that I was going to lose a lot of lean mass and not as much fat mass. And that's pretty much what happened, which we will dive into in a second. So my results in the Dexa weren't as positive as what I was hoping they would be come the 95 kilo mark. In addition to the 6 weeks off, I then had a very, very busy, and I'm on the back end of this now, 7 weeks, where my mum is a glass artist, a glass blowing artist, fusing and slumping and glass blowing, and she has a fabulous studio called Beach Gecko Glass, and I'm going to link it in the description here. Shameless plug, guys. We turn the furnace on once a year at most for between 4 and 6 weeks because it's so gas intensive and very expensive to run. And then the furnace is on, it's on 24 hours a day, chewing up fuel. So I normally have Thursdays and Sundays off, but during the 4 weeks that it was on this year, I was blowing glass on Thursdays and Sundays with Mum, helping her with production and with teaching workshops. So that lasted 4 weeks. And then Bloody Adrian decided to go off on a working holiday to help one of his clients at Static Monsters World, Sophie, who did a fantastic job, actually set a Static Monsters World's Championship log record, 77.5 kilo log press, at only 60 kilos body weight, guys. Pretty dang impressive. Came 4th overall in the world in her weight class, so phenomenal competition from her. Adrian was coaching her, and then he's on a holiday. So I'm covering as many of his clients as I can as well. So that means no Thursday break still, but I have my Sundays back. Also, the last 4 weeks, this is the 5th week now, I've been training 4 times a week, very consistently, although light, and I'm back on the creatine. So how does this all play out? I'm going to quickly switch across now to the Dexa scan. So if I send it across, put myself in picture here. My body fat percentage did drop. I was hoping that when I got to 95 kilos, let me come back up. I was hoping that when I got to 95 kilos, I would be around 16 to 17% body fat. Unfortunately, this scan says that I'm still at 21.7%, right, which is not great. 21.7%. And you can see that, I'm going to move the mouse right over here. This is where we're looking at 21.7%. Okay. You can see that my total mass, and this was just sub 94. Fat mass still about 20 kilos, lean mass about 73. So if I scroll down the page, it's really cool because it shows you the actual comparisons to the last scans. So if I'm looking at total fat mass, I'm down from 32 kilos of fat mass to 24.5 kilos or 25 kilos of fat mass, all the way down to 20 kilos of fat mass. So I did lose still almost 5 kilos of fat, 4.6 kilos of fat, which is really solid amount of fat loss. But I did also lose a lot of lean mass. I lost 6 kilos of lean mass. Now, if you look at the last time when I had lost 10 kilos, I had only dropped just under 2 kilos of lean mass, right? So only 20%. This time I dropped 10 kilos and lost 6 kilos of fat mass. So I lost, 60% of the weight was lean mass. Lean mass, I meant to say, not fat mass, lean mass, which is an issue. So I was trying to think, all right, it's not all muscle. I didn't lose 6 kilos of muscle mass. Because remember, lean mass is everything that's not fat mass. So it's muscle, it's bone, it's water weight, it's everything. And here's a couple things that I came to sort of realize. One was that I stopped taking creatine. When I stopped taking creatine, my weight dropped a couple kilos pretty quickly. And that wasn't because I was dropping more fat. It's because I was losing all of that water weight associated with the creatine when I was at full saturation. For my other Dexa scans, I was fully saturated in creatine at the time. So I know that I'm carrying less water weight. If I was to add 3 kilos of weight back onto my body as lean mass, as water weight, it would drop my body fat percentage more to like 18%, which is more on par with what I thought it was going to be, around that 17% mark. So I wasn't too discouraged. I know that from that 6 kilos, maybe only 2.5 to 3 of it is hopefully water weight. So I'm expecting my next DEXA scan to be far more productive in the sense that my body fat should be low, body fat percentage should be lower, because now after training for 4 weeks, I am back on the creatine. Also, all of my weights have been going up pretty consistently. So I know that I am sort of building some of that lean mass back and retaining some more of that water weight as well. Just also want to say it's important to note that even though I had stopped weight training, my bone mineral density, still off the charts, guys. Look at this. All right, still off the charts. Still 3.9 standard deviations above average. So still just crushing life in that regard. It's not 4. I dropped out of the 4 standard deviation club, but to be 3.9 standard deviations, guys, come on. All right, it's pretty impressive. My bones, check this skeleton out. They're thick. They're so thick and chunky. Got thick, chunky bones still. So bone mineral density still strong, guys, which means that lean mass reduction definitely was from a combination of muscle mass and water weight. And I'm hoping more water weight. Anyhow, since doing that DEXA scan, also I might add, that was while I was glass blowing. And I go to get the scan first thing in the morning, fasted. And when I'd gone to the bathroom, I could tell I was a little dehydrated. I'm not going to go into details of how you know, but you know. I was dehydrated. So I am really hoping that some of that lean mass, a good chunk of that lean mass, was water weight, which I will now have since put back on because I'm back training and on that creatine, on that sweet, sweet creatine. So update now. I'll put them up here. You can see I didn't do a daily weigh-in for everything, but you can, in fact, see my body weight is now 92.7 to 0.8, which is fantastic. So all-time low in this process. Also, I'm going to put up, you wait for it, my undie shots, guys. Check it out. I'm going to show you 3. I'm going to show you the original. I'm going to show you the last check-in back at like 99 kilos. And I'm going to show you now. And you can see some solid progress here, guys. Okay, so you can compare those 3 shots, front, side, and back from original, from 100 kilos, and then also now from 92.8 kilos. So they're all coming along very nicely. Like I mentioned, the glass blowing season is done. No longer sweating bullets in front of a 1200 degree furnace. Adrian's on his way back soon, but I've gotten 4 weeks or 5 weeks of really consistent training back in the books, albeit light. And I'm back on the creatine. And the first thing I noticed when I started taking creatine again is that my weight loss plateaued, stuck there at around 93.5 for about 2 weeks. And now it started to decrease again. So during that 2-week period where it plateaued out, I'm quite positive that that is me retaining more water weight associated with that creatine. So I've got basically another 2.5-3 kilos until my 90 kilo Dexa scan. And that I'm hoping will be much more positive in terms of what my body fat percentage is. Hopefully closer to that 15% range. And it'll give me a much better, 15 or under, and it'll give me a much better idea about what my end target is going to be. As things are adjusting down, I was hoping it was going to be 89 kilos, but I really think it's probably going to be closer to like 86, 87 kilos if I'm being realistic, because there is, that unavoidable lean mass decrease as you lose high levels of body fat. Even though this process has been going on for 7 months now, since the start of January, okay, since January 1st. But we are down over 25 kilos, which is pretty cool. And the body fat has dropped quite a bit. And I'm really happy. I'm actually unlocking new clothes that I haven't worn in forever. It's sort of like when you play a game and you upskill and you level up and you're going to unlock a whole bunch of new moves or weapons. This is like I'm unlocking my wardrobe from the past. Sort of like a time-traveling health journey. It's amazing. But I'm unlocking all my good training kit. And that's basically everything that I wanted to touch on today. So I'm sorry it's been so long. Next time you see me, I might do one in between, but I'm hoping that I'll get my next Dexa scan within the next few weeks. So I will try to do at least a fortnightly video just to keep you guys updated. I definitely won't be having such a long break like I did on the last time, but just so you know, things are going in the right direction. I'm at my all-time low, high 92s in this process. I'm training again. The neck is feeling good. You're going to get the undie shots again. The scales are coming down. I might not do every single day weigh-in video, but I will weigh in. I will show you the weekly weigh-in video before I make these videos so that you're staying on track with that. Next Dexa scan's coming up in a few more kilos of body weight lost, and I'm hoping that that'll be a much more positive result. So that is all I have for you today on the road to 10%. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Please like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment. And I will be skinnier next time. I will be less fat still. Less junky on the road to 10%. See you guys. Have a good one.